Ryan Maloney from Julio's Liquors, and today we are hosting our annual Go Whiskey Weekend. It's 3 days of whiskey fun. We have a dinner on Friday night. We have seminars all day Saturday. We had a meet and greet last night, which was great, and then today is our big grand tasting with over 275 expressions available to sample, and mayhem and craziness of about 800 to 900 people. It's just a lot of fun, and we started this a while ago with our Lock and Key Society, which is our whiskey society, and it's just taken off. This originally was our original room. We outgrew this within a year. We set up downstairs, and now on our weekly Wednesdays, we have Whiskey Wednesdays every Wednesday night. We try whiskey. We have 35 to 75 people showing up on those, so it just blossomed, and here we are. We have two right here from a Willet. This is actually a hand-picked rye, 4-year-old, barrel strength, unchilled, filtered, and this is a 7-year-old bourbon, both the same one, hand-picked, unchilled, filtered, barrel strength. And the difference the way we pick out these barrels, we actually go through the warehouse with Drew Culbertson from KBD, and we actually drill right into the barrels. We find what we're looking for, we taste them and keep tasting them until we get it right, and then pick these great barrels to bring back to our customers. What we're trying to do is we're trying to give the customer a cask-to-glass experience. We want them to be able to taste what we taste out of the barrel by unchill filtering and getting a cask strength. This one happens to be over 123 proof. That allows the consumer to actually add water and bring it down to the percentage that they would like. We usually suggest somewhere in the 90%. 90 proof by adding a little bit of water to it. It's not a macho thing to be drinking this thing at 123, 124 proof. Your tongue will go numb. It's not a very pleasant experience, and you won't taste all the whiskey flavors going through. So adding a little bit of water opens those flavors up, and then you can really enjoy your whiskey.
Here I have Ardmore and Laphroaig. It's a little bit tough to spell out, but that's how you pronounce it. It's from the Isle of Islay. Pronounced Isla, it's spelled Islay. Some people get confused there as well, but flagship of the distillery is the 10-year-old. You're going to get big peat smoke, full-bodied Scotch, very long finish. We have a few of the other marks here as well. We have a 10-year cask strength, a quarter cask, which is matured in ex-bourbon casks, and quarter cask, which are 1/4 the size. A little more wood contact on there, mellows the whiskey down. We have a triple wood, which is a limited bottling from us. It goes through 3 different maturations. Ex-bourbon casks, quarter casks, and then it's finished in European sherry butts. And then we have our Laphroaig 18 here as well. Definitely a little something different from the Laphroaig family. Get a little honey, a little more floral notes, but that peat smoke still goes through for you. Also, if you want to become a friend of Laphroaig, go online. You get a square foot of land out on the Isle of Islay. If you go over there, they'll take you to it. Put the wellies on, and they'll take you to your square foot. You can build a birdhouse or something on it.
This is Edradour Distillery, okay? It's the smallest distillery in Scotland. Only about 10 to 12 casks a week are made. They're all made by hand. There's only 3 gentlemen who actually work the distillery. There's 3 gentlemen who actually been working at the distillery for over 30 years. Peace for all of them. Very nice smell. Yeah, it's a Pitlochry in the Highlands, so about literally in the middle of the state. Not heavily peated, just a hint of smokiness to it. Pine, very smooth, no alcohol burn there at all.
That was in the region, very good region.
You know, where it is, it's all fly fishing territory, and it's all golfing territory. So about 300,000 people actually go through the distillery every year. Very big, picturesque, sightseeing type place.
Hi, I'm Al Young, brand ambassador for Four Roses Bourbon. I used to be the distillery manager for about 20 years, so I know the quality that goes into these different products. The Four Roses label's been around for almost 130 years now, so it's got a venerated past, it's got a great future, and to celebrate that, we have 3 labels with us today. One is the yellow label that has 10 of the bourbons that we make in it. The other one is small batch that has 4. And then our single barrel offering is the high rye mash bill, all the contents of one particular barrel that goes into the bottle before we start another one. So your yellow label is 80 proof, your small batch is 90, your single barrel is 100. So it's a great thing to be at Julio's today. If you ever get down our way in Kentucky, stop by Lawrenceburg and come in for a visit. We'd be glad to have you.
So we've got an opportunity, Drambuie 15, it's very new to the United States. And what Drambuie has done is they've stepped up their game, and they've combined a variety of different 15-year-old Speyside malts. They've added an age statement to their new product line. This is Drambuie 15, which is kind of the big brother to Drambuie. And with the 15-year-old age statement and the original herb and elixir secret ingredients, it's made a much drier, spicier version of the Drambuie. So whether you're drinking it neat on the rocks or you're using it in traditional cocktails like a rusty nail, you're going to get a more grown-up flavor, drier flavor, ease off the sweetness, and you're going to get more of a Speyside Scotch feel to what is otherwise a liqueur. Today we have Andy Black from Dewars. He's our Dewars brand ambassador. We've been doing a rusty nail with the Drambuie 15 and our Dewars 12. And being that the Drambuie 15 is very honeyed, very heathered, very, very Speyside, it really complements the Dewars 12 honey heather Aberfeldy core, and gives a little bit of a spice, and like I said, a much nicer, drier finish as a cocktail.
I'm here today at Julio's Liquors. I'm pouring Masterson's 100% rye. This is a new product, it's straight rye from a group called 35 Maple Street from Sonoma, California. It's a 10-year-old straight rye, and it's a great new product here in the Massachusetts market. This is a new company called 35 Maple Street. It's a spin-off from a company called The Other Guys, which is the next generation of the Sebastiani family in Sonoma County. And again, this is 100% rye, straight rye, 10 years of age, and great new product here in Massachusetts.
I'm Chris from Carolina Distillery in North Carolina. What we do is we use local apples. We crush the apples and make cider. And we ferment the cider and distill the cider. And then we age our spirit in white oak barrels, new white oak barrels, for about a year. So it's a traditional brandy, so we don't put any sweetener, flavors, anything artificial in it. So the product that we do is a traditional brandy that's been done for hundreds of years. So there's nothing that's artificial at all about it. We've been on the market for 2 years.
My name is Andrew Black. I'm the National Brand Ambassador for Dewars. What we have here is initially we'll start with the Aberfeldy Distillery. This was the distillery that the Dewars family constructed back in 1889, originally just to be the heart of Dewars White Label. It's a very nice example of a Highland whiskey. You've got some nice honey notes to it. It's a really good jumping off point for making a blend. In blends, you start with one specific single malt that has the dominant characteristic that will really go through your entire flavor profile. Then we move over to the Dewars line. What we have is Dewars White Label. Again, that's the first whiskey that the Dewars family produced. Debuted in 1899 by our third master blender, A.J. Cameron. It's got a very light body to it. It's got some nice honey note to it, a nice smoky backbone as well. But it's really not too far in either direction, so it makes it very, very versatile in terms of mixing in cocktails, which is really one of the reasons that I like to enjoy that one in particular. Depending on my mood, I can make a cocktail, I can enjoy it on the rocks, maybe a splash of water. But again, that versatility makes it quite drinkable. Dewars 12 is the next whiskey that was introduced in the year 2000. What we have is a marriage of up to 40 single malt and grain whiskeys that have been aged, in this case a minimum of 12 years. Whenever you see an age statement on a bottle of whiskey, you're stating the youngest liquid in the bottle. Typically they're quite higher than that, 13 to 15 years. Then we've got Dewars 18, which I have to say is probably my favorite in our entire portfolio. We've got now whiskeys that have been aged a minimum of 18 years prior to being blended. You're going to wind up with butterscotch notes to this, a little bit of a cinnamony spice. A lot of complexity, nice full body, nice creamy mouthfeel. A really, really well-tailored Scotch whiskey. Then we've got Dewars Signature. This is our ultimate expression of blended Scotch whiskeys. Really the oldest and rarest single malts that are available to us, starting off with a very, very old Aberfeldy at its base. Then we use younger, more delicate grain whiskeys to kind of dial back the spicy notes, the heat that you get from a lot of older, more aggressive single malt whiskeys. This one is nice and viscous, so really I think that this is fantastic for almost an after-dinner drink, like a brandy or a cognac. It's got nice chocolate notes to it. It's got some woody notes to it. It's got a bit of a sweet, spicy note to it as well. Really, really complex, really, really fantastic Scotch whiskey. But again, it really always goes back to our Aberfeldy distillery. Really the heart and soul of our blend.
So it's Disley Cross cider. We're the only Scottish cider maker. We are based on my dad's farm just on the east coast of Scotland, so near Dunbar. made from all Scottish apples. We matured it for 6 months to make it really smooth, which is quite a long time in the cider making process. This is our original cider, which is the only one we've got over here at the moment. However, we're doing a whiskey cider that's currently being made. We've partnered with a distillery in the north of Scotland called Glenglassaugh. We're using their whiskey barrels, and we put our cider into their barrels. So that's maturing for about 6 months, and it's literally just ready now, and it's really, really good. So that's coming over in a couple of months' time. So there'll then be 2 products over here, which is really exciting for us. So, yeah, like, you should try it.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Karlovich. I'm the National Brand Director for International Beverage Company. And we're here to sample some single malt Scotch whiskies. And we're here at Julio's Liquors, which is probably one of the best liquor stores in all of America. And Ryan Maloney, the owner, I have to give him a little props out. He was just named Keeper of the Quake with myself in October. So I'm really excited to go to Scotland and experience to be a Keeper of the Quake with Ryan Maloney. But we're here to talk about Scotch whiskey, and single malt whiskey in particular. We have Deanston Distillery, which is a Highland malt, which is known for their sweet caramel characteristic. And then we go over to the islands, and we have Tobermory, which is known for their sea salt and their rough and their interesting malts. There was always a Daig, which is about very peated, very smoky. And then we go over to Bunnahabhain, and Bunnahabhain is known as it's an Islay malt, and Islay is known for their smoke and their peat, but Islay is like the gentle smoking giant. There's no peat in Bunnahabhain. It's very similar to Macallan. It's done in Oloroso sherry, so you get that deep, rich fruit, and it's actually one of the finest whiskeys, in the world.
For Julio's, for Scotch, for freedom. Clean up on aisle 3. Who needs some champagne? Right. Julio's Liquors. Champagne for all my champagne.